This is Women Rise to Lead, episode 20. Try one more time. Are you seeking inspiration, insightful tips, and weekly steps to be in action? Welcome to your podcast, Women Rise to Lead. I am your host, Patricia Lagopatis. Even though I was an extremely shy girl, I became an entrepreneur, advisor, and public speaker. I never thought I could have the confidence and courage to show up, speak up, and build a business living my aspired lifestyle. After many attempts and lessons learned, I'm the entrepreneur and leader I always dreamed of becoming. This weekly podcast will empower and encourage ambitious and aspiring women in business to move forward and achieve a new level of leadership, a level that honors who you are. I love to uplift women so they can own their worth and be the entrepreneur leader they were born to be. Because we, as women, can inspire the female leaders of tomorrow by showing up as our amazing selves. So, let's keep shining. Welcome to today's episode. Today's inspiration is from Thomas Alva Edison, born 1847 until 1931, who was an American inventor and businessman. He was best known for being the inventor of the light bulb. He was one among many inventors who worked to improve the light bulb, which was invented earlier, but his genius was more about his ability to apply practicality to inventions that made the light bulb a common household item. He quotes, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." The words of the wise and very successful Thomas Edison. All successful business people know a thing or two about what led them to make their dreams a reality. We only see the after results and think it must have been easy, or they were fortunate to become successful and leave such a legacy behind. Yet when we ask them or read about them, they have a full story to share, how they started, how they struggled, and how finally they made it. Nothing happens without a commitment to go all the way to the end, without a vision of what you want and a mission of how to get it. Sometimes it's not spelled out, but it's in them, and that drives them to go after their goals until they reach them. We've all heard the famous Colonel Sanders Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC story of how it took him 1,009 no's to get to his first yes at the age of 65. It's never too late to make things happen. Or what about Alexander Graham Bell or Albert Einstein? Do you think they accomplished their ideas on the first try? We would not be mentioning these names if they gave up on their ideas. Also, do you know that there are over 2,000 billionaires and over 16 million millionaires in this world? Do you think they were simply fortunate? They all surely had a struggle story to share of how they kept going when the going got tough. Most people have the weakness of giving up, Mr. Thomas Edison states, and I used to be one of them. Especially in today's society, it's such a challenge not to give up when we expect everything served to us yesterday. Now, let's look at this subject from another perspective. What if, when life throws you a difficulty, a challenge, it is testing you to see how committed you are to your goal, your mission, your vision? When you feel like giving up, at that moment, ask yourself, have I done everything I can to achieve it? And then take one more step. Try one more time. Imagine who you will become through it all. When you pass the point of giving up by trying one more time, you begin to form a new habit, And most of all, you build a muscle of persistence and you can become unstoppable. Imagine if no one or nothing stopped you. What would be possible for you as a woman in business? I believe who we become is our ultimate goal. Who will we become as women globally if more women achieve their goals? What's possible for the future generations of girls following in our footsteps of success as they become women entrepreneurs and leaders? Let's set the example. Let's allow our purpose for being on this earth as women to shine through our work. If Thomas Edison has given us the answer to success, always to try just one more time, then all we need to do is follow his advice word for word. Are you ready to do so? Our theme today is try one more time. This week's actionable step that I propose to you is, when you face a challenge or difficulty, take it as a life test and try one more time. Do you want to learn how to overcome 3 shyness traps that keep you stuck in business? Head over to my website, patricialagopatis.com, and download the free PDF guide. I share my solutions, and if you apply them, you too can overcome these 3 shyness traps so you can advance further. And finally, you have so much potential in you. Give yourself the opportunity to discover what you're capable of. Until next week, pass the test of life by trying one more time. Have a great week, being the amazing woman that you are. Thank you for joining me in today's episode of Women Rise to Lead. If you enjoyed it and found it valuable, please share it with others and subscribe to the podcast or for my weekly newsletter found on my website, patricialagopatis.com, so you can automatically get my new weekly podcast episodes. I'd love to hear from you personally, and I'd be grateful if you can leave me a review. You're welcome to share your progress or comments by joining the conversations on my social platforms of Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Women Rise to Lead podcast honors who you are as women entrepreneurs and leaders and is filled with inspiration, insightful tips, and actionable steps to keep you moving forward. And remember, every action you take will bring you one step closer to your dream.